What's good, family? Welcome back to another video here. Thank you guys for checking out the channel as always. We're gonna go ahead and talk about last night's
You gotta
WWE
admit, this
NXT.
is cool.
And of course, we will be doing, your typical like, this is the card for tonight's wrestling and things like that for upcoming shows on my TikTok. So make sure you guys are dropping a like, commenting, and subscribing here. Follow the Snapchat for clips of the shows, Instagram for random wrestling content, I guess. The show kicked off yesterday with Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker against the team of the Dirty Dogs, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Now, Bobby is kind of short for Robert in a lot of ways, or Bob. So I'm going to just continue to call him Bobby Roode. I hope that's okay. And even if it isn't, oh well. He came out last night and he brought back the Glorious Domination theme, which I thought was phenomenal. Now, I did have a bit of a segue into Tommaso Ciampa's recent theme change from Raw because I didn't do the results overview for that show yesterday. But if you guys want me to do it, I will. Anyways, the situation with Tommaso Ciampa is he's got a new theme song. It was debuted on Monday of the 29th of February, I believe. And people were like, well, the reason why this is happening is because they have contracts with CFO and Def Rebel is the one that works for them now and blah, 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 blah. I don't know too much about contracts. I'm not the most eloquent person when it comes to the law, but I'm pretty sure that if you own the rights to something, there is no law that dictates that you have to sign back over said document, unless if the person who originally created it wishes to purchase the rights back from you. So logically speaking, my point is going to be articulated in my next point, or my next closing statement, I guess, if you will. When Bobby Roode last night brought back the Glorious Domination, that was a song that was created by CFO as well as the Tommaso Ciampa No One Will Survive song as well. They were both made by CFO. If these contracts were made so that, they don't want to keep paying CFO, then they wouldn't have played Bobby Roode's theme song for a one-night stand type of thing for NXT. So that's just pretty much all there is to it. They still own the rights to the song. I simply think they want a lot of their talents to just be under one specific artist versus having multiples. And then, of course, their big stars will still keep, their other songs, like case in point, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. Those two haven't changed the theme song since they debuted in WWE. And slowly but surely, Dolph's theme has kind of evolved to what it is now, but it's altered a couple times, but ultimately been the same. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But anyways, the match was phenomenal. The match was great. I enjoyed it personally. I enjoyed the back and forth gist of it. Tommaso Ciampa hit the fairy tale ending for the 1, 2, 3. They made Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa look like $1 million. I couldn't have orchestrated that match any better, even if I knew how to. That's how good it was. I don't know how else to articulate my point of view at that point. It was great. It was a good match. I give it honestly a 9 out of 10. Everything was done correctly. My only gripe is that, again, even though Tommaso Ciampa likes his new theme song, I just wish he would have kept the old one. I understand the argument of the No One Will Survive thing. I understand he wants to be more of like a positive image for everyone, but not everyone is going to correlate No One Will Survive to the transgressions that are going on the planet right now. At least me personally, I don't. I understand where he's coming from. The new song definitely sends a way better message. I get that. But my opinion remains, I prefer No One Will Survive. That's just what it is. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that I prefer it. I'll give the new theme song a try. I'll listen to it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. We had 3 women's matches tonight, with the first one being Indy Hartwell and Persia versus Wendy Chu and Dakota Orton / Dakota Kai. And a lot of people were perplexed about why I call her Dakota Orton. And it's really self-explanatory. I mean, if you watch NXT, you know. She basically has backstage segments where she seems to be talking to other people or like damn near hearing voices in her head. That's it. I don't know how else to articulate that. So she and Wendy Chu surprisingly picked up the victory. Dakota looked like $1 million. Persia was distracted, so ultimately Indy and Persia will probably split down the line because Persia is going back to Duke and she's very heavily thinking about Duke. I think that was also a pretty big distraction point that they used as like a story to compensate for the creation of the team of Wendy and Dakota, which makes sense because Indy and Persia are an actual tag team, whereas Dakota and Wendy, that was their first time teaming up. So I like that storyline to kind of like nerf Indy and Persia to so that Wendy and Dakota could pick up the win. I appreciated that. That was they normally don't clean up stories the way that they like that. They normally just throw singles tag teams and they take precedence over current tag teams, which kind of aggravates me. But with this specific instance, it made sense because of the background story that's been going on for a few weeks with Persia, Hudson, and Indy and Dexter. So that made sense to me. Good job, NXT. Good job, WWE. Good job all around. I don't normally applaud, but you get an applause. All right? You get an applause. A big one. All right, I'm going to stop because I know y'all can hear that. That match, again, 8 out of 10. I don't like Wendy too much. I think her gimmick is a little iffy, but she genuinely seems like a kind person, so if there's anybody who could make it work, maybe she can. And I'll give it a chance, you know? It's growing on me. I like the sleep dive thing she does. That's a mood. So we'll see. We had the upcomers, I believe it was Julissa and Valencia, and they showed out. Like Raquel and Cora made them look like $1,000,000. These two girls over here to the right are gonna be stars in the making. Like there's no way to articulate that any further. They're gonna be huge. Cora did her thing as always with Raquel, big bomby. I really like what they've been doing with Cora, slowly kind of elevating her to that main event scene. She's super over with the crowd. They love her. She does her skating thing. I dig it. You know, I like it. You know, it works. And she's pretty too, so it works out. You know what I mean? She's young. She's going to be a good big star for them. Julissa and Valencia will be good from an international standpoint, in my opinion. Same thing with Raquel. These all four ladies are going to be phenomenal stars. I can see them all doing it. Raquel's going to be a powerhouse. Cora's going to be like an underdog babyface. Julissa and Valencia, we're going to have to wait and see if they get characters or something. But as far as like talent in the ring, they're great. One of them damn near jumped like 40 feet in the air, and Raquel caught her. Thank God. So it was pretty sweet, but be careful. This match, personally, I'm just a big fan of Andre Chase, man. He's his promos with the Andre Chase University, him roasting his students. He's now a good guy, which is great because it works. He's got the Chase U section, you know what I mean? With the flag and all that stuff. By the way, I want to buy that freaking flag, the Chase University flag. I like Andre Chase. I like the way he talks. I like the way he's not the best performer in the ring. He makes out for it with his character and his like in-ring, like his promos. Von Wagner, trash. They gave him a good manager with Robert Stone. Robert Stone can talk. He's pretty good in articulating himself. Come Tuesday, if you know, you know, Wagner. I'm sorry. All right. So like I said, man, pretty good. The match was, you know, it did what it had to do. 6 out of 10. We had Gunther and Solo Sikoa. Now, this match is a first-time ever match. It hasn't happened before. The previous match has happened before, so that's why it's whatever. I know a few of the matches were first-timers, but this one specifically I was pretty excited for because Solo's been on a rampage. And then, of course, you got FKA Walter, now going by Gunther. The crowd still chants Walter. I like that he kept his original theme. I'm glad they didn't screw with that just because they have a tendency to do that. I'm okay with him being renamed Gunther. It's so long as everything else stays the same. You know, the ring general, the way that he articulates himself, the way that he fights, which he does. He's slimmed down quite a bit. He's still a powerhouse. He's still a badass. He still chops your freaking intestine down into the back of your spine. Every time he every time he flare chops somebody, I feel like they're literally getting sent back in time. Like their ancestors are feeling that, okay? Good match between both men. Solo proving that he's not just an Uso, he's his own man, doing what he does. I would say that's his best match to date, in my opinion. This match did what it had to do, 8 out of 10. Solo had his first loss, but it was nothing to be ashamed of because Gunther, I mean, again, Gunther's one of the best in-ring performers that they have in NXT right now, in my opinion, alongside being the most believable as far as his weight, height, and stature, with his gimmick being serious and the ring general type of thing. Again, really good match overall. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Do you guys think Solo should have lost? Do you think they made the right decision? I do, because Walter's the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. Every match that he's had has been match of the year candidate. There's just no argument in that. And he's been protected really well. The only time he's really lost was against Ilja Dragunov when he lost the NXT UK title. And I know he lost one other time. No, they beat Undisputed Era. He probably lost one at a time. I just can't remember because again, he's probably only lost like under 5 times in his entire WWE career, from NXT UK, I mean, and like NXT overall, and probably under 3. What the hell do I know? Because I can't remember. But yeah. Next we had PC Principles Prodigy, HARLAN versus I want to say his name was Anthony Draco. I can't remember. He's relatively somewhat new, but the kid's got a bright future, man. He's really good in the ring. HARLAN always does his thing as being destructive, and like having that face that he has is so good to me, because then you can have, Joe Gacy come in and like control him and be like, hey, you did good. Remember, this isn't the bottom of your emotions. He's not the one to drive your emotions towards. I love Joe Gacy's character. I'm a big fan of it. I like the PC principle stuff that he's got going on, and the all-inclusive thing that he's got going on, because it's realistically a mock of what 2022 is, essentially, to a certain degree, and how the sensitivity aspect of it is there with everyone online and everything. So I like Joe Gacy's character. That's just me. The match was solid. It was good. It did what it had to do. Then, of course, we had the main event, which prior to the main event, I want to talk about this really quick. We had LA Knight cut a quick little promo. That dude is ridiculously over. I don't know how else to articulate that. The man can do it all. He can go in the ring. Not the best, obviously, but he makes up for it with his character. Knows how to get the crowd involved. Yeah. He challenged Grayson Waller to a last man standing match next week at NXT Roadblock. So we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. But then we had the Pete Dunne and Carmelo Hayes main event. This match never disappoints. Obviously, Pete lost. Carmelo says at the end of the broadcast that he will be defending the title the way the title was made, or introduced, I should say. They're going to do a ladder match. Now, he didn't say that he would run it back with Pete Dunne specifically. He just said that he would do a ladder match. So my guess is they'll probably put Tony D'Angelo, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Grayson Waller, and himself. 5-man, probably 5-pack challenge. And then they'll maybe throw maybe Duke in there. And if they want to, take it a step further, you could throw Andre Chase just for, comical purposes, maybe throw Joe Gacy in there, since he's already had a title match for the 205 title before it, got unified with the North American. I mean, the people that I would personally throw in there, as of right now, if you're not going to have Walter win the title yet, then you can throw Joe Gacy. You can throw in Pete Dunne, Tony D'Angelo, LA Knight, and Grayson Waller alongside Carmelo Hayes, and there's your 6. That's how I would do it, because you can do that. You can test out how the crowd would react with LA Knight being super close to grabbing the title. I know he's super over, but ideally you want to test it out, especially on an audience like the Stand and Deliver WrestleMania tryhards. That'll be a good way for the company to know if he's really, really over or not. And then, of course, you can continue to elevate Pete Dunne by having him perform in the high capacity that he always does. Same thing with Joe Gacy. He can continue to elevate himself by having these higher profile matches. Maybe have HARLAN get involved and do his thing, trying to help Joe Gacy. You know what I mean? And then ultimately Trick could help Carmelo get more heat on him by having Trick maybe grab the title down and give it to Carmelo, versus him grabbing it himself. Similar to like the Carmella and what the hell was his name, dude? James Ellsworth. There we go. How James Ellsworth went up there and grabbed the Money in the Bank and threw it to her. They could do something like that. A lot of different ideas. I'm not going to talk forever. I know you guys want to probably go home or click off the video or whatever. If you haven't, if you're still here, thank you. Arigato. But yeah, man, the match was great. 10 out of 10. It did everything it had to do for me. I would even go as far as to say it's a match of the year candidate. It was really good, in my opinion. Next, like I said, we announced the NXT Roadblock next Tuesday, which is, I know that the Roadblock was used for the Triple H and Dean Ambrose match, if I remember correctly, to kind of help Dean, because they wanted to get Roman more over or whatever, so they decided to use Dean in these segues, and so that Roman wouldn't get booed out of the damn building. And I think Roman was also suspended because of like his first time offense of like drug abuse or something, but it wasn't even drugs. It might have been like medication or something it was taken for soreness. it is what it is. I'm not going to speak on that. I don't know why he was suspended for those 30 days or if it was kayfabe or not. No one really knows. But yeah, last man standing match between Grayson Waller and LA Knight. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know who really needs... I feel like LA Knight doesn't need the victory here. I think if you want to keep pushing Grayson as like one of the top heels, you give him the victory, especially if he's going to be in line to win a title down the line. You want to make him look strong, especially with the heater he's got in the back there. Not Veer. So I think, have him, beat LA Knight here. LA Knight goes away for a little bit, debuts day after WrestleMania on the main roster. Boom. Case closed. He puts over Grayson on his way out, and that's it. Next match we had announced was the Dusty Cup Classic winners, Diamond Mine, the Creed brothers, against Fabian Eichner and Marcel. Forgot his last name. Don't even worry about it. But again, these two carrying the titles, they're great. I don't know if I want to see them lose the titles yet, just because Fabian and Marcel are so good. But again, if it happens, it makes sense. I don't know. I would really love to see a trifecta of Imperium holding all the titles, again, at some point. I know that at one point the NXT tag titles were on these two, and then Walter was also holding the UK title. So I'd really love to see them hold the titles again, kind of establish their dominance as the top faction. But again, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Any questions, feedback, concerns, positivity. Hey, more of this, more of that, less of this, less of that. Peace.